Hi, welcome to Spec Hunter. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to talk about the new DJI Osmo 360, a camera that is not available in the US yet. I had to get it from another country just to test it out and share my thoughts with you. This video is not sponsored, and I'm not going to add any hype. My goal is simple, to show you what this camera really offers. If you're new to 360 cameras, here is the basic idea. This camera has one lens on each side, so it records everything around it. You don't need to worry about pointing it in the right direction. After recording, you can use the DJI Mimo app on your phone or DJI Studio on your computer to pick the angle you like. From one video, you can create many different clips. You can reframe it to focus on yourself, switch it to face forward, or point it in any direction. You can also create smooth movements between frames, so it looks like the camera is moving. Insta360 made this type of camera very popular with models like the X5. DJI wanted to compete, so they gave the Osmo 360 a bigger sensor. The sensor is square-shaped, with larger pixels that can capture more light. This makes the image cleaner and brighter, especially in difficult conditions. The camera can record in 8K at up to 50 frames per second. Compared to the Insta360 X5, this is a big step up because that one can only record 8K at 30 frames per second and needs to drop to 5.7K for 60 frames per second. When we talk about resolution in 360 cameras, there's something important to understand. The resolution you set is spread across the whole 360-degree sphere. When you crop and frame your final video, you're only using part of that image. This means that even though you record at 8K, the final clip will not look like a full 8K flat video. That's why starting with the highest resolution possible is so important. The higher you start, the better your final video will look. Video quality on the Osmo 360 is very good. It can record in 10-bit color, which gives richer tones and smoother gradients. This is active even in the normal color profile, which most people will use. For advanced creators, there is the option to record in log format for more control and editing. Personally, I like the colors straight out of the camera. They look natural, though some users may find them a little flat. Luckily, you can add more saturation quickly in the app when you are reframing your video. Dynamic range is another strong point. DJI says the Osmo 360 has 13.5 stops, and from my experience, it handles highlights and shadows very well. Older cameras like the DJI Action 5 often lost detail in clouds or bright areas, but this is not a problem here. Most of the time, the image looks balanced and natural. That said, in very extreme lighting situations, you may notice a strong HDR effect. For example, if you're standing in the shade with a very bright background, the background can look a little artificial. Some people don't like this, but in my opinion, it's better to see more detail than to have the background completely blown out. Compared to the Insta360 X5, this is a clear advantage because that camera doesn't support HDR in 8K unless you drop to 5.7K, which reduces quality. Still, the Osmo 360 is not perfect. Sometimes certain parts of the video can be overexposed. I also noticed that at 50 frames per second in 8K, the image quality is slightly lower than at 30 frames per second. You lose a bit of detail and texture, and the colors look more intense. It's not very noticeable, and most people won't care, especially on social media. And if you do, you can fix it easily in the app. Another useful feature is single lens mode. In this mode, the camera records a normal MP4 video that you can share instantly without editing. It supports up to 5K at 60 frames per second, but it does not have horizon leveling. Your footage might look tilted. To solve that, DJI included Boost Video Mode. This also uses one lens, but supports horizon balance. It still goes up to 60 frames per second, but the wide view has some distortion. Right now, the app cannot fully fix it, but that may come in a future update. Low-light performance is another area where DJI improved. The Osmo 360 has a mode called Super Night Video. At first, I thought it looked the same as normal mode, but in very dark places, it does make a difference. It reduces noise and reveals more details and shadows. It's not a huge change, but it helps. The downside is that it only works at up to 30 frames per second, doesn't allow log recording, and is not available in single lens mode. Stabilization is excellent. The Osmo 360 uses electronic stabilization that works in almost any situation. Your videos look smooth even if you're moving a lot. It also has horizon lock to keep the horizon straight, which is very useful. Battery life is decent, and DJI made a smart decision here. The Osmo 360 uses the same batteries as the Action 5 and likely the Action 4. That means you can share batteries between devices. In my test, recording 8K at 24 frames per second, the camera lasted about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Using battery saver mode at 30 frames per second or lower, it lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes. However, this mode doesn't work in every setting, such as super night or single lens. Even though the numbers sound good, I still recommend having extra batteries. When I shot around 100 clips in one session, I went through 2 full batteries in just over an hour. That was surprising. You can also use a power bank while recording or buy DJI's battery extension rod. It costs about $100, can power the camera for over 4 hours, and has built-in buttons for control. Heat management is also important. In my test at 8K, 24 frames per second with a high bit rate, the Osmo 360 didn't overheat. At 50 frames per second, it shut down after about 48 minutes. The battery still had power, so it was clearly a heat issue. If you plan to record long sessions at the highest settings, keep that in mind. Audio quality from the built-in microphones is fine, but not amazing. The good news is that you can use DJI's wireless microphones, like the DJI Mic Mini or Mic 2. The advantage is that you don't need a receiver. The transmitters connect directly to the camera, which saves money and makes the setup simpler. You can even use 2 different mics at the same time. These mics use DJI's Osmo audio system instead of Bluetooth, which makes the connection more stable. Editing is a big part of using a 360 camera. On your phone, the DJI Mimo app is simple and easy to use. Keyframes update automatically when you adjust the angle, and exporting is straightforward. My only complaint is that some menus are hard to see against bright backgrounds. On a computer, you can use DJI Studio. It's similar to Insta360's desktop app, but lacks some features like text and transitions. If you're on Windows, you won't find a tracking option yet. DJI says it will be added in an update. Stability is also an issue. While editing about 200 clips, the program crashed 14 times. Thankfully, it saved my work, but this still needs improvement. One topic that often comes up is replaceable lenses. The Osmo 360 does not have them. Some people prefer the Insta360X5 because it allows lens changes if one gets damaged. I agree that replaceable lenses are convenient, but I don't think it should be the deciding factor. There are many other features that matter more, like image quality and editing options. Overall, the Osmo 360 is a strong entry in the 360 camera market. It has a larger sensor, supports 10-bit color, records at high resolution, and delivers impressive quality. It comes with internal storage that lasts about 1.5 hours, and of course, you can add a micro SD card. The quick release mount is the same as DJI's action cameras, so you can use older accessories. The design also makes it easier to view your composition on the screen, whether you shoot in single lens mode or full 360. This camera is not perfect. There are small issues with HDR, distortion in boost mode, and software crashes on PC. But the improvements in video quality, resolution, and flexibility make it a solid choice for anyone who wants to create immersive content. That's my review of the DJI Osmo 360. I hope this gave you a clear idea of what this camera can and cannot do. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you don't miss the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.